It would need to like rock for sure, and there need to be a high harmony. And there has to be a best part of the song. Every part can't be the best part, right?
Yeah.
But
typically it should be the chorus or the ending, then, right? And what are we coming from?
there have to be some transition, but I mean
like the beginning of the song.
I don't know. We could start some way in the groove, which seems like the most natural thing, or we could try to start off with the rockin' part, like do the rockin' thing at the beginning and then work our way back to it.
The main riff that starts the song on piano and then kind of becomes a theme after the choruses is something we intentionally took from a song called Communion off of our first full length. And it was, well, kind of intentionally, but it was an idea that I wanted to be played a certain way on that song. And then as the song got written, it was expressed on a Rhodes piano, which Jesse played. And I guess in the back of my mind, I always felt like it turned out really good and the song turned out good, but that part didn't get its say. Like it didn't get to do what I wanted it to do. And so when I first started writing that song, it was just based around a chord structure really simply, which I don't normally do. I usually start with a riff. And then I heard that riff in my head and I was like, oh, I remember that idea. I wrote that years ago. We never used it. This is the perfect place. And then I showed it to them and they're like, oh, we totally used it. It's on Communion. And I was like, yeah, but it never got to do what I wanted it to do, even though it's cool. And so we were like, well, let's just roll with it. Like, let's let it reinvent
we can do what we want. It's our record.
It's our record. We can do what we want. And then I was like, well, what if we stole a little bit from a bunch of our records for this song? Like, to kind of make it a patchwork quilt of, and not that it's something people will ever get if they listen to, but it's special to us. Like, that part is from, that idea is from a riff on our first record. And then if you listen close at the beginning of the song, there's a pad. And that pad is made up of sounds, I think some sounds from Patience and Silence off of Yet and Arise off of Behold.
People are going to get like euphoria listening to it.
I think the word you're looking for is just nauseous.
Yeah. Those can be kind of like confusing.
I'm just trying to like come up with some like textures, some like ear candy to kind of like fill in the background of the last riff. Just kind of give it some more layers.
Tanner, I think right now is the perfect addition to my epic. I don't trust many people in their skills as much as I trust him. Like, it's like, send it to Tanner and we just know we're gonna get something cool back. You'll just have that really good conversation or that really good interaction, and like, gosh, like, you really do have, like, you're not just talented, but you're also super deep, super intelligent, and super on point spiritually, which is tough to find.
But
I'll just hold it down.
But it's super late, laggy. but.
I like the way that song kind of progressed. It's everything has enough where it's interesting, but it's what the song needs. It's really the melody, and I think the gospel is what carries that song. I think the lyrics are very to the point and just solid.
You're broken and you can't fix yourself, but there's a perfect God, and he saw us in our brokenness, and he should have just judged us for it. And he made a way for us to have a relationship with us, and he made a way to perfect us. And the way was he sacrificed his son in our place. And now if we accept that, we can have new life in the Lord, and that's the good news. We don't have to stay broken. But the thing about it is, even though I can explain it in a minute, there's so much of it I'll never comprehend. Like, why would he do that? And like, why would that be enough to forgive us? And I don't, so on some level, I totally understand it. On another level, I'll never comprehend it. That's probably the truest thing I can say about how I feel about the gospel on a whole. Yeah, Memoir, the chorus came first and came pretty quickly. And then the idea of mirroring the first and the second verse. So the first verse is like all about our incapability and our brokenness and kind of that idea in the first verse where I said, I defied you till I begged you would just let me die. Like the idea that I didn't even really want the Lord. I didn't really ask anything until I felt it was too late. You know, I think a lot of people get to that point, like, how am I going to talk to God now when I've just turned my back on him my whole life? And so all he ever did was defy him until I just wanted to be released. And then the second verse, it just takes all that and it flips it on its head and it speaks about him, and it's the opposite. Instead of I was hopeless, you were fearless, and I think that's just the story of the gospel. Is like we are incapable and he is capable, and we are unlovable and he loves us anyway.
Hopeless, chained to vice after vice, and I defied you till I break.